This is Defense News Weekly from Newsgate Television, edition number 25. In this episode, we take a closer look at this year's allocation of funds for the defense sector, as government has announced an increase in the annual outlay for defense by 13% when compared to the last year's defense budget. The new figures for financial year 2024-25 stands at 6.21 lakh crores. And in this edition, we also take a look at the role of Indian Navy in providing cover to merchant ships over the troubled waters in Red Sea area after escalation of hostilities in West Asia. The central government has hiked annual defense budget by 4.72% and is now at a record figure of 6.21 lakh crore. On Thursday, the 1st of February 2024, when Nirmala Sitharaman, the Finance Minister of India, presented this year's interim budget, the defense budget was 6,21,540.85 crores for FY 2024-25. This comes out to be 13.04% of the total union budget. The Ministry of Defence continues to receive the highest allocation among all the ministries. The budgetary allocation to defence for FY 24-25 is higher by approximately 1 lakh crore over the allocation for the FY 2022-23 and 4.72% more than the allocation for FY 23-24. Of this, a major share of 27.67% goes to the capital, 14.82% for revenue expenditure on sustenance and operational preparedness, 30.68% for pay and allowances, 22.72% for defense pensions, and 4.11% for the civilian organizations under the MOD. According to an official statement issued by the Ministry of Defence, the budgetary allocation for capital expenditure in defence for FY 24-25 is Rs 1.72 lakh crores, which is 20.33% higher than the actual expenditure for financial year 22-23 and 9.40% more than the revised allocation for FY 23-24. The allocation is in line with the long-term integrated perspective plan of the three services aimed to fill the critical capability gaps through modernization of armed forces by materializing some big-ticket acquisitions in FY 24-25. The enhanced budgetary allocation will facilitate in equipping the armed forces with the state-of-art niche technology, lethal weapons, fighter aircraft, ships, platforms, unmanned aerial vehicles, drones, specialist vehicles, etc. The planned modernization of existing Su-30 fleet along with the additional procurement of aircraft, acquisition of advanced engines for the existing MiG-29, acquisition for transport aircraft C-295 and missile systems will be funded out of the budget being allocated. The Indian Navy projects such as acquisition of deck-based fighter aircraft, submarines, next-generation survey vessels, etc. will all materialize through this allocation. In line of continued threat perception being faced at the Indo-China border, there continues to be a jump in the capital budget allocation to the Border Road Organization. The allocation for Border Road Organization is around 6,500 crore this year, which is 30% higher than the allocation for FY 23-24 and 160% higher over the allocation for the financial year 21-22. Projects such as development of Neoma Airfield in Ladakh at an altitude of 13,700 feet, permanent bridge connectivity to the southernmost panchayat of India in Andaman and Nicobar Island, 4.1 kilometers strategically important Shinkula Tunnel in Himachal Pradesh, Nechifu Tunnel in Arunachal Pradesh and many other projects will be funded out of this allocation. The Indian Navy has declared the year 2024 as a year of naval civilians to improve administration, efficiency and well-being of naval civilians by addressing all facets of civilian HR management in a time-bound manner. Major focus areas towards maximizing administrative efficiency, digital initiatives, generic and specific training programs, and welfare activities have been identified for implementation in 2024. Naval civilian personnel constitute about a third of the Indian Navy's total workforce and contribute significantly to the operational effectiveness across all domains. Civilian personnel impact the overall performance of naval formations such as command headquarters, dockyards, material organizations, naval armament depots, naval armament inspectorates, training establishments, and several other types of support units. A number of initiatives have been conceived and implemented in the past in order to enhance organizational efficiency and satisfaction levels among the civilian personnel. However, it is imperative that impetus be provided to their administration, training, welfare, etc., so that they effectively contribute towards ensuring that Indian Navy always remains a combat-ready, credible, coercive, and future-proof force. Indian Navy gets one of the largest survey ship for hydrographic analysis, INS Sandhyak, meaning the one who carries out special search, is a 100-meter-long survey vessel. It was formally commissioned for the Indian Navy on 3rd of February 2024. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh had specially flown in from Delhi to Visakhapatnam for the ceremony. Main purpose of INS Sandhyak is to do a detailed 3D mapping under the seawater in the Indo-Pacific region. INS Sandhyak is equipped with state-of-the-art hydrographic equipment, including deep and shallow water multi-beam echo sounders. The ship is propelled by 2 diesel engines and is capable of achieving speeds in excess of 18 knots. It has an indigenous content of over 80% by cost and is a tribute to the collaborative efforts between the Indian Navy and industry, including MSMEs. The keel of INS Sandhyak was laid on March 12, 2019 and the ship was launched on December 5, 2021. The ship has a displacement of 3,400 tons and an overall length of 110 meters with a beam of 16 meters. Now coming to the news from West Asia. 7 incidents of hijacking of vessels on the high seas by pirates have been reported during the last 3 years in the Red Sea area. One hijacking incident of merchant vessel Leila Norfolk was reported with 21 crews on board, including 15 Indian nationals. Furthermore, 2 hijacking incidents had occurred involving fishing vessel Imam on January 28th. And there was another incident, this time with fishing vessel Al-Nima, which fortunately did not have any Indian crew on board. Indian Navy has been proactively engaging with the regional marine forces to promote maritime security. According to a statement laid on the table of the Parliament, since 2008, Indian Navy has deployed units in the Gulf of Aden and east coast of Africa towards anti-piracy patrols. A total of 3,440 ships and over 25 seafarers have been safely escorted. For restoring maritime security in the region, enhanced presence of ships, aerial surveillance by maritime patrol aircraft, remotely piloted aircraft in the Central Arabian Sea and off east coast of Somalia has been undertaken by the Indian Navy. No piracy incidents have been reported in the Park Strait area. Moreover, due to the ongoing maritime security situation in the region, Indian Navy units have been deployed off the Djibouti and Gulf of Aden coastline, in the north and Central Arabian Sea and along the east coast of Somalia for protection of merchant vessels and rendering assistance wherever required. In addition, information exchange intelligence sharing has also been undertaken with friendly foreign countries to identify the source, region, players involved in these attacks. That's all for this week in Defense News Weekly. Keep watching this space for more news from the defense and strategic world. Namaskar. Jai Hind.